Okay, here's an update on orders. All right, it's been a while since I've done one of those, and you can see what you can see here, but I'll go over what I did, some of the choices that I made, and where I'm going to go from here. So let me see if I can get you some more light. That's a bit brighter. Okay, so you can see here that we've put on the hair, put on the back of the head, made a bunch of contour shapes here to get the head or the skull and the neck region, the back of the ear in place, and the ear. The ear is larger certainly than it needs to be, but we just need to get that placement in so that it's there when I go back to work on it. The face itself isn't really going to be done. We're just going to do the outline of the face and basically get that contour in there. This block here is his right hand, which is basically holding a rag, which will be used to, or it will be, positioned in a place to look like he's working on the sword. The body itself here has the proper contour to appear as if we're seeing the shoulder, the upper shoulder, the mid shoulder, and then the hand shooting off in that direction, so that's good. The sword itself is far too large, or rather, it's the proper size, but it's too far forward, so we have to drop it a bit. One of the things that I've been fighting from the get-go is the letter here and the sword. So in this position, this guy is much larger. He's in front and he's further forward towards us than is the letter, this guy's hand, and this guy in general. So we do need to consider what it's going to look like with the tip of this sword so close to this letter that, in relief carving, you can get away with a lot of illusory aspects, but in this particular case, I'm really trying to keep this guy in front of this letter, but I'm not certain I'm going to be able to do that. So the size of the sword, the direction that it's pointing, that may need to just provide your mind with the idea that he's bigger, he's in front, and regardless of where the tip of this sword is, it's definitely in front of him. So we'll have to play with that concept as I move forward. The desk itself, I may be pushing it back further. I may be giving it more of a surface here, but the basic shape of it is okay. This is the wrong angle sitting here. It will have to be more of an angle in this direction, which will bring the top of this down and so on. So there'll be a bunch of things that occur here that will change what you see right now. But for the most part, it's okay, and it's not really a huge point other than it's just got to be in place. So that said, moving to this guy looks like he's more or less in the right place. I've pushed him back already a few times. I can probably push the hand back a little bit more, but this letter's just getting smaller and smaller, so I got to be careful how much more. I've left a lot of everything just going straight back, straight back, straight back in here too, so theoretically if I keep cutting it, it won't really change in size, but every time I change this has to be changed. Every time I change this has to be changed, and so on and so forth all the way back. So I can push it back further, and I'll think about it whether I want to do that or not. I still have to get in the entire left side of his body, the front of his chest, and so on. You can see this has been sitting here for quite some time. This is actually his right hand sitting on the pommel of a sword that's hanging off his, this is his left hand sitting on the pommel of a sword that is sitting on his left hip. So that's just put in place like all these other places where it's just there, and then I'll have to cut it in and drop it to its proper depth and what it will look like. So that's just there, and I'll get to it soon. So then what do we have here? The largest makeup, since you've seen this last, is that I put in the entire left background. So in a lot of ways I've been just thinking, what the heck can I put in there, because it was just this big block. Originally I was going to try to put stairs in here that lead up into the tower, but stairs are not only super difficult, they just didn't really match. So I rethought the process, put the corner on the room, and then put on a window, and then put in a weapons rack, which I think makes more sense when you consider the basic overall scene here. So one guy I think is a captain, he's just working on his sword. Another guy comes in to give him orders. Another fighter's over here just listening, or doing whatever fighters do. So we got her up on this pedestal here, or this block of wood here, and I'm starting to push her back as well, but she's smaller than this person, so it's kind of going downhill, and I'm trying to get the illusory aspect of relief carving to show that she's smaller and therefore a little bit further away from some of these characters. So I still need to get all of this in, but you can see here that most of the aspects of her are in the right place, so that's good. I got the weapons rack here now finally. See if you can see the rack. Let's put that in a little bit further. So there's the rack here. Got that in to hold up all these pike elements here. Some of these are not exactly correct. They'll have to be dropped further back, but just getting them in their proper placement is key. So we got the cloak in here, and that'll be formed and matched to follow the flow of what I believe this is showing me, and so on. So finally, at some point, I'm going to need to deal with this area. So I've been thinking recently that I might want to add another block to the back of this and give myself more room to work. I don't know yet. I'm not at that point yet, so I got tons of other things to do. So I'm just going to kind of proceed forward and see what I can come up with as I start to continue working on all the characters that need work. All right, I will continue forward. Thank you.